same rules apply. I'm looking ahead. It's like having a phone conversation hands-free, so don't judge me. Just wrapped up 12 hours at the railroad. Amazing day, 3 to 3. Heading home, just left East St. Louis. Made it to the freeway. Feel a little safer. Anyways, heading home, and I was thinking about that Bible verse that I talked about today earlier on the way to work, like 13, 14 hours ago. John 3:16. It's like, why are you talking about that again? It's pretty simple. I think it's profound. I think it's critical that people understand that verse. And remember, Project M2414 is, the mission is to proclaim the gospel of the kingdom of God to all the earth. And we're trying to use video, YouTube, TikTok, things like that to accomplish that. So I do need to post and share with you. So what I want to do is, I want to be talking about the gospel of Jesus Christ and kind of breaking it down as we communicate with each other. The first thing I want to talk about tonight, the first verse I want to talk about, is kind of the first pillar of what's known as the Romans Road, but it's basically just kind of Bible verses that contextualize the gospel, which is the good news of Jesus Christ. And that first verse I want to talk about is found in Romans chapter 3, verse 23. It says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." And so what this verse exclaims, proclaims, tells us is that everyone has sinned. So that's an archaic term for a lot of you, because it's like sin, well, I don't know, messed up. It's a little more than that, because within the biblical understanding of the word sin, it's like an archery term, and essentially means to miss the mark. So we've all missed the mark. You know, God is the perfect standard. Jesus Christ, the perfectly lived life, the standard which God gave us through His law in terms of our behavior towards Him and towards one another. We've all failed, and so it's kind of a bummer, but it's just the reality. It's our condition. Every one of us have sinned, and even the most self-righteous among us would admit, if they were honest, that they have missed the mark with a standard that either they've established for themselves or other people have established for them. So they would all admit they've messed up. So, but to sin is to not just mess up or miss the mark. And the way I like to think about it and help people think about the notion of sin is anything we think, do, or say that displeases God. Now, one, that's not original with me. A friend of mine said that many years ago, and I really liked it. I can't remember their name. It was like 25 years ago. And it's not a perfect definition, but it helps us understand. So a sin is anything that's missing the mark, and is anything we think, do, or say that displeases God, goes against God's will, His revealed word, things that He says in His word or His revealed will. It goes against that. And so anything we think, do, or say displeases God. So all of us have not only messed up, but we have done, said, or thought things that displease God, that go against God's will. And it creates a violation. It's a violation of God's perfect standard. Now, you don't have to like the fact that God holds us to a perfect standard. I don't like it, but I'm driving 70 right now, and the speed limit is 65. If it wasn't for the speed limit, I would drive much faster so I could get home and go to bed. But these are the rules of the road. And in the same way, in this universe, this existence in which we live, God is the perfect judge, the righteous judge, who holds us accountable to His righteous standard. And we've all fallen short of that. We've all missed the mark. We've sinned. We've thought, said, or done things that displease God. I really want to unpack this for a minute, though, and I want you to understand what's the big deal with sin. Like, people are, people are like, why is God so mad? Like, what's the big deal? I mean, we're all struggling, we're having a hard time. I totally get that. And I've thought a lot about it, and the only conclusion I can really come to that makes sense in my brain, which I could be wrong, the only thing that makes sense in my brain is that the reason God hates sin, or hates us missing the mark that he's established for us, is that it brings chaos and destruction into our lives and into the lives of the other people that he loved. Because, that John 16, God so loved the world. So God really loves us. Like, his primary motivation towards us, his primary emotion towards the world is love. And Jesus demonstrated it was a special kind of love. It was what the Bible calls agape, or I don't know how you pronounce it necessarily, but it's a love that is selfless. It's a sacrificial love. So God so loved the world. So the reason God disapproves of, or hates, or rejects, or judges sin, which we've all done, is because it brings destruction into our life. So God hates anything that brings destruction in our life. Now, if you're a parent, this is kind of easy to understand. It actually is. Because sometimes you've got a kid that you just have a battle with. They're just like, it's a battle of wills, and you want them to do what you say because, well, you're a sinful person, and you want to win. You want to beat this kid. And the idea of a 2-year-old winning in this battle, the battle of wills, drives you crazy. But as a parent, what we should really be motivated for in terms of disciplining and correcting and instructing our children is that they would do things that would not destroy their lives. And so our greatest motivation as parents, at least as healthy parents, is that our children would thrive, that they would not have a lifestyle or a series of decisions or patterns in their life that bring destruction and chaos to their lives. It's kind of simple, and it's kind of simple to understand, but that's really how it works. So God despises sin. He judges sin, tries to correct it out of the lives of his people because it destroys us. Those things we think, do, and say that displease God, the missing the mark, the falling short, the not holding God's standard, it destroys our lives. And you don't have to look very far to see. I mean, life is hard, and people suffer, and people die, and terrible things happen all the time. All we have to do is look around. It happens all the time to people we love, people we know, people we don't know, people that we despise. Bad things happen, and we can see that oftentimes those bad things happen because of something the individual has done or something that was done to the individual. Now, I know there are occasions where bad things happen when there seems to be no person that caused it. There's no catalyst to it. It just happens, and I believe that's true. But in many cases, the reason people suffer and the reason people die, the reason people are maimed, the reason people are emotionally broken and crushed is because bad things happen to them. Someone sinned against them, or they made a series of choices and sinned against themselves and got themselves in a terrible mess. Now, the good news is we're going to find out that sinful condition doesn't disqualify us from being reconnected with God. That would be getting ahead, and we'll be talking about that later. I just want to reiterate this point that all of us have sinned. We've all fallen short of God's perfect standard. We've missed the mark. We've done, said, and thought things that displease God. And so you can argue with that. You can say that that's not true. You say, I don't believe in God, and that's obviously your choice. You don't have to believe in God. I believe in God, and I believe in God of the Bible, and I can't make you believe that. In fact, I wouldn't want to make you believe that. I would hope that you would come to that conclusion yourself as you spend time studying the Bible and the teachings of Christ and things of that nature. So, Romans 3:23. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Yep, no doubt. And we're going to find out as we get through this discussion that there's a price with that sin and that missing the mark. But what I really want you to remember is God isn't wanting to ruin your fun. He just hates things that destroy you because he loves you so much. Anyways, I hope this helps. It's more than a short. I don't know, is it 5 minutes? It's 10 minutes. So, I don't know. Maybe one person will watch it. Have a good night.